Well, hello and welcome to Music Theory 101, the basic elements of music. This is a multi-part series for New Hope Baptist Church put on by me, Matthew Waymack, Worship Minister at New Hope Baptist Church, in an effort to help grow my team's and everybody's understanding of God's basic gift of music. This is just lesson one, and these lessons are going to be very short, very bite-sized. We're going to start from the most basic and work our way forward. So if you are looking at this and you're like, oh, I already know this, well, maybe skip to the next one. But for some of us, it might be these things here are brand new. So we're going to get started. And the first thing that we have to learn is this idea of an introduction to pitch, the basic letter names. So when we read notated music, we translate its symbols, whether that's a note or a chord or whatever. We translate those things into sound, whether that's sung or played on an instrument or even just heard in our heads. So we have to begin our study of music theory by learning how to read and write the symbols that represent pitch, because pitch and these symbols are one of music's most basic elements. So as we get started here, the first thing to note is that there are 7 letter names. And as we go along, you'll see things in bold. And those are things that are really important to really lock in. So your basic, let me see if my keyboard will turn on here. Yep, it's on. Okay, cool. I'm not sure if you can hear the keyboard. I haven't tested this yet, but hopefully you do. So your basic letter names, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So this little scale goes from A to G, and you imagine these things as an infinite staircase. So basically, if this is you, and you wanted to start down here on A, and you were going to go up the staircase, you go to B, you go up to C, and all the way up and all the way up, and say, what happens when you get to G? Well, what happens is that this little guy here, if I can grab him again, why is he not? Well, I can't grab the guy. Anyway, what happens is, basically, you would come up to another A, and so the staircase repeats itself. I can't grab my little guy here, and that's very sad. Well, anyway, the guy is stuck now, but there he goes. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, hold up. Well, we're going to leave him there. But basically, he gets up the staircase, he repeats, and goes to A. Likewise, if he was to go down the staircase, he'd find himself hitting another G. So this staircase repeats, and you just, as you go down, say he's up at A, he's going down to G, to F, to E, to D, all the way down to another G. So basically, think of this staircase, think of going up the staircase as singing through the alphabet. So you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way up. But when you go down the staircase, you're singing the alphabet backwards. So you have G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, and you go down that way. And that's the most basic understanding of how this works. Now, as you can see, every 8th note, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every 8th note, the letter repeats. And this is called an octave. So every 8th pitch is the same letter, which is called an octave. So here's a G down here, and then an octave up, 8 pitches up, you have another G. And that's going through 8 different letter names. Now, in between these letter names, you'll see flats and sharps, which we'll talk about in the next lesson. But for now, for the purposes of this very first lesson, I just wanted to show you guys the basic letters and how they relate to each other. And if you think of this staircase, then it'll make a lot more sense. So by the time you get back to, you get up to G, it goes back to A, and the staircase repeats itself. You're going down, it goes to the G, and it keeps going down, and if I could get my little man to work, I'd show you how that works, but I can't get him to move. He's just stuck. There we go. Oh, there we go. It's cool. So you're going up, and then he turns around, and he just goes back down. So this is the basics of music theory. This is step 1, is understanding these 7 different letter names, and realizing that every time you get to number 8, it repeats. Going up the staircase, the notes go higher. Going down the staircase, the notes get lower, but they stay the same name as you go up and down. And every 8th pitch is called an octave. So this G and this G are octaves. And that's all I have for this first lesson. Like I said, I'm going to keep these short. Try to keep them around, 5 minutes. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.